My name is Jack. I studied at the Coggan College of Business, pursuing not only a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, focusing on economics with a minor in political science, and now I'm pursuing grad school, doing an MBA with a focus on marketing analytics.
And where did you study abroad?
I studied abroad at Hochschule Bremen. So Bremen is in northern Germany, and yeah, that one was an easy one for me because it's my mother's hometown. I visited my Oma when I was like 10 years old. So it was a bit of a coming back to home experience for me. Again, once I saw the opportunity to study at my mother's hometown, a place I'd visited as a kid, visiting my Oma, and she actually was still alive at the time and living there. Actually, she was living in a nearby village called Leicester. And yeah, I definitely wanted to study there, especially because Bremen itself is kind of similar to Jacksonville. It has a lot of the same commerce as us, and it's very internationally connected. So knowing all that information, I definitely had to study there. Those interesting experiences definitely started to unfold, especially with any preconceived notions that I had and what I should be expecting, what I would be experiencing. But, just doing impromptu hiking trips to the Harz Mountains in Lower Saxony in Germany, to visiting Prague on a whim because it was so cheap to just visit with a group of friends, which made it all the better. To even visiting Istanbul, which I just never would have imagined that. But I had a friend that lived there and I got to visit him for a week, and I got to know his entire extended family that lived all in one section in a dense urban area in Istanbul. So just like tons and tons of adventures there, visiting mosques, seeing the continental divide there, but also just getting stuffed to the brim. The hospitality from Turkish people is overwhelming, literally. And even though I did so much walking, I probably actually put on a couple of pounds.
What have you learned about yourself while living abroad?
Yeah, this is a good one because you don't really know what you're in for, and that experience really challenges the concept of yourself. But what I learned about myself, I think I would like to say, I learned to kind of experience myself without all the comforts by comforts I kind of mean the associations that I have with a place, whether it be relationships, whether it be experiences that I've had, whether it be knowledge of the place. So you're kind of you have all those comforts removed from you, but then you have an opportunity for new ones that really unfold before you as you take on those experiences. And I definitely learned to kind of enter those experiences with just the essentials. Really, what did I really just need? What did I need? And kind of remove the preconceived notions, lean on the new relationships that I have, lean on my natural curiosity of those places, and kind of enjoy the rest.
What tips do you have for someone who is thinking about studying abroad?
Picking back off of what I've learned for myself in studying abroad, I definitely recommend entering those experiences, entering your study abroad time by kind of finding out what is it that you really just need. We have so much that we accumulate in life, which are great for us because they fill us up with a lot of wonderful things. But when you're studying abroad, you're going to pick up so much more than you could ever imagine, whether it be literal physical items like new clothes and shoes to accommodate the weather or something like that, to new relationships and ultimately a new you. So find out your essentials, maybe do a little bit of planning, and then again, lean on those relationships because you're going to have so many opportunities through those relationships. You literally cannot even imagine what will lie before you. You'll have friends that reach out to you and say, hey, we want to go to Prague. Do you want to come with us? And hopefully you'll just be ready to take those on.
Were there any cliches that were proven to be true or false?
I would say, especially in Germany, compared to people in the South in the United States, Germans are a little bit more standoffish. It's not as easy to just enter into a conversation with them. I had the luck of having German as my first language, but also one thing you'll really get to appreciate yourself studying abroad is you're part of their same cohort. You're just an international student, but studying right alongside with them. So maybe not all the locals you'll immediately be striking conversations with and just immediately having these wonderful, awesome relationships, but your students, you'll have that opportunity to do just that and to thrive from that. And so once I started to make friends, I really got to understand the culture a little bit better. Once you understand how different cultures work, you're able to easier navigate that space as well.
How are the classes different than at UNF?
I remember my classes being, certainly some of them, filled to the brim, such that some of the students actually had to stand along the wall. And that was definitely not something that I experienced at UNF. Even in my largest classrooms, there was ample seating for everyone. At least this was my experience. So it was a little bit more haphazard than I was expecting, especially at Hochschule Bremen. But it was also similar insofar as the classes were very discussion based.
Did you experience any culture shock, and how did you handle it?
I definitely experienced culture shock because I was going into a new place where I had to figure out how to move through it successfully. And I was doing that to a large degree without those same comforts that I had grown up with. Even with my German speaking skills, they weren't quite up to par to that of a native. So that challenged my concept of myself. I definitely found myself initially wanting to kind of pull back and just go to places of safety and comfort, like the flat that I was living in. But again, the relationships that I already established from day one helped push me out of my comfort zone. So I made a friend on my very first day of classes who happened to practice Muay Thai, and I practiced boxing. And it turns out there was a Muay Thai gym directly across the street from me. So I literally just had to roll out of bed and walk over to go to class. And, so we really bonded over that. He actually gave me a sweater because we rode bikes home that same evening. And this was the very first day that I knew him. So, relationships really bring you out of your comfort zone. And then I also lean on my own natural sense of curiosity because, I know that my time there was limited. So I might as well make the most of it, all within, kind of one step at a time.
What was your living situation like?
I lived in a flat a bit east from my university, Hochschule Bremen, and the bottom level of the flat, that's where the landlords lived. It was an elderly couple. They had a dog, Falco, super cute. And on the second floor, that's where we had 4 different bedrooms, all international students. We had 1 from Japan, 2 from Ecuador, myself from the United States. We shared not only a second floor balcony, a kitchen, a bathroom. And to be quite honest, even though it was 4 students living on the second floor, it worked out fantastically. We also had a cleaning service that cleaned our shared living areas once a week, and that definitely helped. But yeah.
Did you receive any scholarships?
I did. I received, the big one that comes to mind is the sales scholarship. I had at least one other scholarship and a couple grants, and then additional funding through unsubsidized loans helped me out there as well. And I also saved up a little bit for this experience, especially with it being 6 months. Frankly, I didn't take full advantage of all the scholarships that were available to me, possibly because I just didn't prepare as much as I could have well in advance. I know that University of North Florida offers so much in the way of scholarships, and really working with your advisor is your best way to make your study abroad experience affordable.
Did you have any embarrassing moments while abroad?
The first one that comes to mind is in the basement of my flat. We had our washing machines and actually no dryer. You had to hang up your clothes. So apparently I didn't know how to use German washing machines, because about a week into having moved in, my landlord politely told me that my clothes that were hanging smelled duftig, which is a German word for aromatic. And I think she was just kindly telling me that I need to wash my clothes a little bit more thoroughly. So I asked her, how do I change the settings to do this? And she showed me. And from then on, my clothes did not smell so aromatic. The core sense of who I am, which, I think the study abroad experience naturally calls out to those that really want to seek out new experiences. So I'm definitely still the same inquisitive, curious person that just wants to know more about places and people, and really just what that means to our own experience. But I'm a different person because I know how to put myself, or at least my notions of myself, in the background a little bit more, to be more open to those new experiences.
Where are you planning on going next?
Oh man, that's a good one. I actually visited my hometown in Heidelberg, Germany, in southern Germany. And that is also a college town. It's also a very old city. So I loved my time there. It truly just changed my whole mood. It was so magical. And if I see an opportunity to study there, that would be wonderful. But frankly, for personal experiences, I recently visited the redwoods, sequoias, and I would love to go back out west to the United States, visit our national parks like Yosemite, go back to the redwoods, and go up to Big Sur National Park. I just love nature, and anywhere where nature connects to people, I'm always happy to explore that.